The OJCYF is a one-of-a-kind organization run and operated by teens from the greater Portland area. The board is comprised of 2 separate groups which each meet once a month for at least 2 hours to discuss the importance of teen involvement and youth philanthropy in the Jewish Portland community.
I love OJCYF. It feels so good to give back to the community, and seeing the differences we've made, helping to start the PJ library. It's just, you can see how much of a difference that we're making, and it's one of the most rewarding feelings I've ever had.
Well, the OJCYF basically represents my Jewish identity as a whole, because without this organization, I really would not have a link to the Jewish community.
The OJCYF has really opened the door to my involvement in the Jewish community.
And without the Oregon Jewish Community Youth Foundation, teenagers wouldn't be as connected to the community.
Well, I mean, just like my enjoyment for helping out in the community, helping other people out. I mean, that's something I've developed through the OJCYF, and that's absolutely going to stick with me throughout the rest of my life.
From its humble beginnings as a bat mitzvah project and a fledgling idea for a tzedakah corps, the OJCYF has grown and evolved into one of the most influential organizations in Portland. The OJCYF's effectiveness comes from the way the organization works. Since all money raised is no strings attached and all members and adult mentors for the group are volunteers, the OJCYF has a very low operating cost, and more of the money can go to helping charities.
All the money that we get, we just turn around and we give right back up.
I mean, this is micro and macro impacts throughout the community. Like, you can give to charities, we've given to charities that are in Israel. So we're not just having an impact here in Oregon, we're helping internationally. So what other group can I have that kind of impact on the community? So
I would love to see us give them at least $500 just because they're doing such an amazing job and I love to support them.
So the OJCYF is really valuable in that it provides us with the knowledge to give wisely, and then in turn gives us the opportunity to give wisely.
Of the organizations here, which do you think is the highest priority? Who should get the highest amount of money?
Things we struggle with is that there's always more need than there is money and resources.
Simultaneous to aiding the charities in the community, the OJCYF fulfills its mission to secure the future of Jewish philanthropy by teaching the next generation of Jewish leaders how a board traditionally works in conjunction with the ins and outs of giving. From day one, members are immersed in actual boardroom scenarios, learning to plan events, to use their understanding of mitzvot, Rambam's ladder, and tools such as Maslow's hierarchy of needs to gauge the amount and destination of grants and important communication and teamwork skills. Because of the nature of the organization, the OJCYF is able to have a very grand impact on both the present and future of philanthropy.
And talk about training the leaders of tomorrow, because in 20, 30 years, we're gaining the leadership skills now for what we'll need in the future, to ensure that when our generation are adults and when we're running things, that we're going to be passionate about the Jewish community.
I feel a lot more confident that this generation is going to be able to make a difference and give back to the community because of OJCYF.
The greatest success we may end up having with the most amount of impact has been investing in these teenagers who are part of the OJCYF.
And I expect, many of my peers to be back here 20, 30 years from now leading the very organizations I met with during my time with OJCYF.
After 5 years of dedicated work, the OJCYF has become a symbol of teens' abilities to step up into a strong sense of maturity, Jewish and self-identity, and responsibility as they work to aid their community. The work that has been done in aiding the charities of Greater Portland is only part of the overall impact OJCYF has had. The impact the OJCYF has had on its member participants is equally important to the money raised and given away. The organization has given the teen population a fighting chance to prove themselves as productive members of their communities.
To me, the OJCYF shows that the future leadership in Jewish Portland is going to be strong, because as 16 and 17-year-olds, we're displaying that for the next 30 or 40 years, when we're adults, we will be able to run and contribute to Jewish Portland to make sure that the community stays strong and that we have good leaders.
I know that by going to this group, I've met other Jewish teenagers who have similar interests, and I've kind of seen that, there are people out there who care. That there is kind of this myth that most people are apathetic, but at this group, you meet other teenagers who share your interests, and you can see the future, and it's right there. And this dinner is all about the future now. Well, we're really building that future with this organization.